Welcome back to EMT Mood. Today I'm here with
MPAJ Tortug.
Today we're reacting to 3 True Horror Stories animated.
Yes. And the first one is True Scary Story from Scandinavia. We've all heard stories from Scandinavia. They're all not good stories. So let's see what happens in this one.
Hope you guys are having a great day. Let's get straight into it.
Hi, I'm a fan of your show. This happened to me a few years ago. I'm a guy and I was in my 30s at the time. I live in a Scandinavian country. Back then, I used to go for walks late at night. It was a pretty safe area, or at least it used to be. But things started getting worse. More violent crime, mostly gang-related. Still, if you minded your own business, it wasn't usually a problem. So one night, around midnight, I was out walking. Up ahead, I saw a tall apartment building, and 2 men were pacing back and forth around it. I recognized the building. A retired teacher from my school lived there. She was probably in her 50s by now. It felt a little strange seeing these guys circle the place, but I didn't think too much of it. Then I noticed they were acting off. They were standing on their tiptoes, peeking through windows. One of them even picked up a stick and walked back across the yard. That's when I realized they were about to break in, and I had just walked into the middle of it. They noticed me. They stopped and turned and stared directly at me. My gut told me to move, fast, so I turned left to get out of there, but the path wasn't great either. It led past a school and an open lawn, totally empty. No people, no cover. I glanced back. At first, the men walked the other way, but when I made the last turn in front of the school, I spotted them again, hiding behind a bush, watching me, waiting. There's no way they ended up there by accident. If they weren't planning something, they wouldn't have followed me like that. At one point, I was almost home, so I did the only thing I could think of. I took my jacket off and held it up like a decoy. Then, I ran, casually, back to my house. Nothing happened. They didn't follow me. But I know I got lucky that night. If I hadn't turned left, if I'd kept walking straight into the dark, they probably would have robbed me. I still go for walks late at night sometimes, but only for 10, maybe 15 minutes. And I always stay close to the buildings, somewhere people can see me, just in case.
See? Look at this. Pause this for you guys. Okay, it says, sorry guys, it says her backyard, which is in front of the building. Boom. Okay, the Parkside, I don't know, Parkside where the room is, okay, backside, boom, okay, this is where he was coming down, okay, intersection where he understood what they were doing and turned my left, okay, boom, then he went, this is all pretty crowded area, not gonna lie, like, this is not a shabby place to go walking at nighttime if you need to be safe. Turn left before the apartment, right before the beginning of something and fields, okay? And the X marks where the 2 guys are standing around looking at the apartment and all that to follow him without something. But yeah. See, I asked for a map and they gave me the map, bro. Okay, look, they went around him. That's how they teleported. Okay. That makes a little sense. That makes a little more sense because I thought he was like tweaking.
Nah, he was definitely tweaking, bro.
No, he was definitely tweaking. He said he lifted up his jacket and ran home as a decoy. Bro. Decoy for what? It's not covering you. That's not distracting or confusing nobody.
Yeah, but I wonder if they actually like ended up stealing anything though. Did they actually get to like break in for
right?
real?
Did they go back and break in?
Yeah, like or that's the information that we need because.
But that is so cool. That map is good. Go off.
I mean, now they're just telling me how I can get away with it too.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
That is so crazy.
Alright,
well, where's the bush that they were hiding in? He didn't show us.
They didn't show the bush, but there's a lot of bushes around, so you can just imagine.
Yeah, but if he ran this way and he turned that corner, Where would the bush be where they were hiding it that looked like they teleported? Or did he come right back around?
Maybe. But
Okay, confused.
on to the next one, man. That was stupid, bro.
That's hilarious. True pizza delivery man horror story. You muted it?
I ain't muted. Is it muted?
I don't know the mute button. It's not muted. Oh, yes.
Yeah, that one's muted.
Like Marvin,
Oh, I
you
ain't
pressed the
do that.
wrong thing.
And thunder was clashing louder
Okay,
than
rewind, guys.
This happened 5 years ago when I was 15 years old. I was hosting a sleepover during the winter holidays. The weather that day was rainy and thunder was clashing louder than usual. I invited 5 of my closest friends over: Kai, John, Nick, Robin, and Marcus. We had all known each other since we were kids.
Okay, that's cool.
Robin's uncle Blake also came over to keep an eye on us since my parents were away on vacation.
That's cool.
They would not be back for a few days. My 2 bulldogs were with me too. Blake was a funny and easygoing guy, but he was no joke. He trained in professional martial arts and even coached MMA fighters. Everyone
They got the
arrived that
sharpest man to
afternoon.
defend
I don't
them.
remember
Let's
the
go.
exact time, but it was
Who is
already
that?
pretty dark outside.
Pizza
The weather
man
was
is-
classic winter with heavy rain and low skies.
Classic winter.
Blake
Where are
ordered
they?
everyone pizza, and we decided to watch a scary movie. Honestly, it felt like the perfect night for it. The stormy weather set the mood. Halfway through the movie, the doorbell rang. We figured it was the pizza guy, and Blake went to get it. He looked through the peephole and saw the delivery man. He was about 6 foot tall and had a strange, unsettling expression. Blake said the guy gave him a bad feeling right away.
Yeah.
He opened the door and the man handed him the pizza. There were no words, just this long, creepy smile. Blake paid and shut the door quickly. Later, he told us it was one of the most awkward moments of his life. He just stood there while this guy silently grinned at him. Something about him felt wrong. Still, we brushed it off and continued watching the movie. By the time it ended,
I ain't gonna lie, bro. If a man handed me a pizza like that, I'd never eat that shit, bro.
I wouldn't take it. I would just call the pizza place and tell them I want a new pizza and a new delivery.
Yeah, I'd be like, nah, this guy definitely did some shit to my order.
Yeah, it's I don't trust
Especially
it.
if it's through Uber, bro. I'm getting that money back.
Yeah.
What?
100%. I'm not, yeah. 100%.
That shit.
Are you out of your freaking mind?
Everybody's enjoying it though. You don't even know what's in that shit.
Yeah, all of them, bro.
Man could be watching the house from what, the week before you guys even came to chill like this. He's plotting on you guys just like that.
Yeah, they'll order pizza and I'll show up.
close to midnight, we all decided to sleep in the same room. It was the large guest room upstairs. Everyone brought their own sleeping bags. I slept on the bed, and so did Nick. The others set up around us on the floor. Blake stayed downstairs, watching his favorite Netflix series on the couch. We stayed up talking for about 30 minutes before finally falling asleep. Then, a shrug on my shoulder. Nick was trying to wake me. His face looked worried. He whispered, "Did you hear that?" There was a knock coming from the window. At first, I thought it was thunder, but then he leaned in and said, "I think someone's trying to get in." My heart started racing. We stared at the window, frozen.
Two of them?
The knocking stopped. Then a dark figure appeared right at the glass. They were wearing a black or gray hoodie. I could not make out the face, just a shape,
Call the
a
fighter.
shadow, but it was close,
Call the
too
fighter.
close. Adrenaline kicked
way
in.
too close
I
for
jumped out
sound
of bed and ran to the window. I locked it fast, just as the figure tried to lift it open.
Oh,
That was when I saw it. A crooked white tooth twisted into a vicious smile, but I still could not get a clear look at the rest of the face. I bolted back across the room and shook everyone awake.
wait the fuck up
Then
right now.
came the knocking again. Louder, meaner. He started yelling something, but the words did not make any sense. It was like my brain could not process them. We ran straight downstairs to wake up Blake. Blake did not hesitate. He grabbed my 2 bulldogs and headed outside. We followed behind him. What we saw was disturbing. There was a ladder leaning against the side of the house. It was positioned right below the bedroom window. The knocking sound had been the ladder tapping against the wall as the man climbed. Blake spotted muddy footprints leading to the backyard. He ran that way. That was when we saw him. The man was crouched under a garden bush trying to hide. Blake charged at him, with the dogs barking beside him. The dogs lunged and bit into the man's hoodie, and Blake punched him hard and fast.
Call the police!
He yelled. We did. It took them a while to arrive because of the storm. When they finally got there, they arrested the man. Then came the part that still haunts me. The officers told us this was not the first time he had done something like this. And Blake, he swore it was the same guy who delivered our pizza earlier that night. Since then, I have never let my guard down, and my dogs, they sleep in my room now, every single night.
That's actually, that was a good one. So.
This one is true black magic.
Hey Wanzi, my name is Becky. I'm from a country in West Africa called Ivory Coast, and I have a scary story that happened to me when I was just 6 years old. Back then, I lived in a small apartment with my parents. It was a quiet building, and I didn't have any friends to play with. There weren't any other kids my age around. So my parents hired a babysitter to take care of me whenever they were busy. One day, I told my babysitter I wanted to play outside the building. She agreed, and we went out together. Right next to our apartment building, there was a small house made entirely out of wood, and that's where I saw them. A group of kids playing right outside the wooden house. I got excited and asked my babysitter if I could join them. She said yes, so I ran over and started playing with them. They were a bit older than me, and I remember they were all siblings. At some point, the older girl in the group said she had to cook something. I was curious and asked, "Can I help you?" She smiled and said, "Okay." Then she told me to go pick up some small rocks, and some big rocks too. I didn't question it, I just did it. She brought out a big cooking pot and placed it over a fire, and then she began putting the rocks I collected into the pot. At first, I was confused, and I asked myself, what is going on? But I was just a kid. I tried to understand and tried to blend in. She covered the pot and waited. A few minutes later, she opened it again, and that's when I saw it. Inside the pot was rice and meat, cooked, hot, ready to eat. The same pot that was full of rocks just minutes before. I was shocked, but also amazed. I didn't understand how she had turned rocks into food. I remember thinking it had to be some kind of black magic. Then she invited me to eat with her and her siblings, and I was so close to saying yes. I was young, and I was naive, and the food smelled really good. But right then, my babysitter, who had been sitting a bit further away, noticed what was going on. She ran over and shouted, "Don't eat that food!" She grabbed my hand and pulled me away. We went straight home. She didn't even say anything on the way back. She just looked scared. Now I'm 16, and I still think about that day. What kind of magic did those children use? What would have happened if I had eaten that food? Ever since that experience, I don't like eating at other people's houses, because I've seen with my own eyes that not every meal is what it seems.
Yeah. Yo, take it in.
I would love to know what the hell the babysitter knew that we don't know.
I know what she
said. That's I hate that one. That one's mean.
They should have spoke on that, to be honest. But you know what? That's why you really can't like. Okay, it's okay for your child to eat at family friend's house or people that you really trust genuinely. But if you have not personally been to this person's house,
or you haven't seen them prepare food, you haven't seen them cook, you haven't tried their food yourself,
then your kid should not be over there eating food. And my mom always told me, don't eat from anyone. And as a kid, Lily, bro, I genuinely grew up not eating from people's houses, bro.
I eat from everybody.
That's your problem.
But my mom told me the same thing. But the thing is, I've been at their houses and seen their mom cook, and they've eaten the same food. So I'm like,
you know. But yeah, man, that last story was messed up. I wanted more information, bro. I really want to know how she did that shit, because I don't know if it's like psychological, like you know what I'm saying? There's some pheromones in that bitch that made her hallucinate thinking it was rock or like actual food, or if she generally did prepare some actual food.
Yeah, because she smelled it and knew automatically what was going on. What was She smelled the black magic. Like,
that shit like that we need to know, bro. Should have gave us some evidence. Like, oh, yo, here's a part of food that actual
the
images.
thing
of
is,
the
none
food
of
and
them
shit.
ate. She was offering for her to eat first.
I know. That's why she's smart.
So that's
for that.
another thing.
You know how some kids, they think with their guts. They would have ate that shit like it was nothing.
Amelia, for sure.
Yeah, especially like playing house and shit back when we were kids, bro. Like you would have some kids that would actually generally eat dirt or actually eat like shit that they
Thinking
quote
that
unquote
it's a part of
prepared.
imagination, a part of the game, and it's like nobody is. That's too far.
And what? She was 5, right?
6.
She was 6. Yes, I mean she's a smart kid to not choose to eat that shit.
She was going to. She said she was about to say
I know,
yes.
but I'm just saying realistically, she denied it before the babysitter even got there. So realistically, you know.
She didn't deny it. The babysitter came and told her, "Don't eat it."
I know, but she's saying that she decided not to.
No, she said she was about to say yes because she was naive and young, and the food looked and smelled good, but. By the time she was gonna answer, she came in and she knew what was going on.
All right, W babysitter. You know what I mean? Like, you know, we were wondering where the hell she was, but she was nearby. So
Yeah, she was. She came in clutch.
Yeah, she came in clutch.
I was ready to be on her ass, but no, she was on her ass, so that was good.
Well, that was the video, guys. Comment, like, let us know what you guys think about the video.
Don't talk to strangers.
Don't eat from strangers, especially.
So that's what we learned today in this video, Curdy. And if you see a problem, run the opposite direction. Not into the dark. Run to where a well-lit area like the school. Take a left.
This guy is stupid, bro.
This guy's like, where I took my left.
And make sure you have a decoy, bro. Make sure you have a decoy. If you have like if they're looking for you, just take your shirt off. Just take your
He
shirt
ran
off.
home like this.
Take your shirt off, throw that shit on the ground, hide that bitch, and then cut. Do something.
That's what I thought he was gonna do.
I
Like,
know,
throw it
man. He
somewhere.
ran with the sweater, like
yeah,
that made,
in the air.
That
like,
made no sense. It's like he is the decoy. Like,
go off.
I mean,
Yeah, he is the.
this guy's stupid.
Fuck
Bro.
off.
But anyways, man,
Each your own.
take care, guys. Hope you guys have a good day.
Oh.